Hello and welcome to the Musical Instrument Investigator. Today we're on the website of French auction portal Shares. We're going to have a look at an auction by Joigny auction house based in France. This is a new auction house to me, but it seems that they have an auction of musical instruments happening. So we're going to have a look at this catalogue. It looks like they have 70 lots on this auction, so not too big. It's the 22nd of May today, and this auction is live tomorrow on the 23rd of May, so you've still got a little bit of time left to look at it. It seems that the kind of the buyer's premium is 21.5% or around that. There's maybe some other added fees. Once again, just to say that this is based in France, this auction, so if you're outside of France, check all the conditions, etc., shipping, export and all that jazz, or even if you're in France still, just check the fees. And yeah, as this is a kind of a small little auction, let's just crack on and kind of see what we can find, really. See what they have, see what the pictures are like. Let's see if we can get a bit of translation to help us out on this. It's our warning about the translation. So it's a violin and two bows. The inscription inside, H. Glottel. Okay. It is indeed a violin. Looks kind of standard-ish kind of thing, but in fairly kind of okay-ish condition. Needs a bit of work, but definitely seen worse. 300 to 400 euros, not too bad. 400 to 500 euros, a violin and bow. There's an inscription inside. Okay. Actually, not too bad looking. Interesting scroll eyes. Hard to say exactly what that is. Another violin in box. Inscription Johannes Frebrune. Okay, 500 to 600 euros there. Quite nice looking kind of back on that. Not too bad, 500 to 600 euros. A bit of work needed on the top of that. Another violin inside, Joseph Guarneris. Fingerboard is loose. Look like kind of trade violins that have been kind of maybe modified a little bit. Violin in a double case. Inscription Lucien Schmidt. Looks like a fairly standard trade-ish violin. Looks like it might have been over varnished, possibly. It's hard to tell. Violin with two bows. Inscription Paul Bailey. Actually not a bad looking violin. 1000 to 1200 is the estimate. Bit of a, looks like a crack on the sound post that needs patching, so that'll be expensive, but looks like an okay violin. Violin with a Derezi label inside. Looks in not too bad condition, although not the most exciting looking. It's saying it's an Italian violin here, 1500 to 2000 euros. Emanuele Gildo. Interesting. Yeah, not too sure about that one. But quite an interesting auction so far. Violin with JB Collar Mezza label. It's again quite a striking back on that. 3 to 4,000 euros on that. And here's a bow, 3 to 400 euros. Another violin. Inside it says Jérôme Thibault-Lamy, so it's a kind of lower French trade violin. €200 to €300, just says a violin. Looks like it's been messed around a bit. Another violin with a Paul Buscher label. A violin with an Armati label. Once again, nothing too super exciting there. Violin and 2 bows in a case. This looks a very tradey kind of thing. That's a pretty bizarre colour that it's got there. Very interesting. 4 violin bows there, of a few different lengths. Interesting. All in need of some kind of work. Violin, ordered lengths 36. So no label in that. It's fairly standard. Violin bow with a Vora stamp. 100 to 150 euros there. Another violin. It's a concert Strad with the concert bit on the back of the scroll, so pretty standard trade violin there. Here's another violin. This looks a bit more interesting. Looks like it's had a bit of worm to it. That's quite nice. Look at it, a bit of a nasty crack on the back. 100 to 150 euros, but yeah, that's, you can see the worm has been going. Shame about that, otherwise quite an interesting violin there, or was at some point. Set of 20 violin bows, whole load of stuff there. 80 to 120 euros. I'm sure some bits probably interesting. Another violin and bow. It's just a very low grade trade instrument. Another violin bow here. And another violin bow. Looks like that needs a bit of work. So looks a bit like the camber's gone. And another violin bow. And a violin. Okay, looks like a trade violin. Violin bow, 74 centimeters, 50 to 80 euros on that. Another violin bow, tip missing, or a button missing, probably what they're trying to say. Another violin bow. Looks a bit interesting. Violin with a Joigny label, and in that style with the double purfling and the extra turn on the scroll. Another violin bow with a Viome stamp. Another violin bow, seems to say broken somewhere, yeah, broken to the head. You can see that. Violin bow with an Ushar stamp. Violin bow, 74 centimeters. Another violin, Mansui. Fairly standard kind of stuff. Violin bow with an Arthur Thomas stamp. Or Toma, in fact, rather. Another violin, Moitessier, Paris. Stamp inside. Violin bow, body length 71.5, or bow length even. Another violin bow. Violin bow, Sarasata Master stamp. Leather violin and 2 bows. With a Stradivari label inside. Fairly tradey type stuff. Another violin bow here. Some good angles of the bows, I think. Another violin bow. Good to see the head mortises. Another violin bow with a, this is, yeah, Francois Lot stamp. Another violin bow, 73, missing its button. Another violin, 35.5. Violin, 74.5. And 75. And we're on to the second page. What do we have? Another violin bow. Another violin bow, Emile Auchard stamp. This is broken. Yep, definitely broken. And a violin with a bow in case, with the Michel Ange Guerini label. This looks fairly standard type thing to me. Then we have violin bow in case with a Chanel and Chardon stamp. Interesting looking bow, 60 to 80 euros. It's actually quite an interesting looking bow, I think, I would say. Violin bow with a Viome stamp here. They don't have an estimate on this one, that's interesting. Aria 5-string banjo. Fairly standard stuff, modern banjo. So, guitar by Juan Estruch, just budget classical guitar. Mandolin. Flat back kit, pretty standard. Cavalry trumpet by Cousineau. And we've got alto saxophone by Blessing. Clarinet, Maspaca, Paris. And Goubert clarinet. Trumpet in silver metal by Henry Selmer. Oh, some more bows. Violin bow by Lamy. 1500 to 2000 there. Violin bow, 74. This is damaged mechanism. Probably means that the screw or something inside is a bit damaged. Violin bow 74. Another violin bow 74. A few kind of interesting bows in this. Another one there. Another violin bow 74. Violin bow 74.5. And a 73.5 with a withhold stamp. And last, a violin bow with a damaged mechanism. Well, there we go. That didn't take too long. We've covered the Joigny auction of musical instruments. A few interesting things in there actually. Wasn't the most exciting auction run through, I'm afraid. It's a bit warm here, so a bit sleepy, and also not that much to say on this one, but a few interesting things. Definitely worth having a look. So I'll put a link in the description, check it out if you're interested, and it finishes tomorrow in France. So yeah, have a look and see what you think. So thanks a lot for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Bye. Many thanks for tuning in to the Musical Instrument Investigator. I hope that you enjoyed the video. If you did, then please like, subscribe and turn on notifications, and watch out for the next video coming soon.